The bar is loaded, heavier than last week. Heavier than you wanted. You unrack it. Feel it settle into your spine. That specific weight, not violent, not sudden, patient, like it already knows something you don't. First rep is a lie. Easy, controlled. Your mind files it as evidence. This is manageable. Second rep costs more. Third rep, the bar stops feeling like steel and starts feeling like judgment. Here is where it actually begins, not at the start. Here, somewhere around rep 6, 7. A voice shows up, calm at first, reasonable. You've done enough. Rack it. Nobody's counting. That voice is not weakness. That voice is a survival mechanism, mistaking a squat rack for a threat to your life. It doesn't know the difference between dying and struggling. It just knows discomfort, and its only directive is, make it stop. Most men listen. Most men rack the weight the moment the voice gets loud enough, and they call that a workout. It isn't. It's negotiation, and negotiation builds nothing. Growth has one mechanism, not motivation, not intention, tissue. Muscle fiber tears under load it wasn't previously capable of handling. That's not a metaphor. That's biology, indifferent to how you feel about it. The body does not repair what was never damaged. It does not grow stronger from a weight it found comfortable. So the pain in rep 9 isn't a warning sign. It's the invoice. It's the exact unavoidable cost of the only transaction that produces change. You don't get to skip the line item and still receive the result. Now the real weight sets in, not the bar, the decision. Rack it, and the voice wins again, quietly, the way it's won 1,000 times before, in 1,000 small surrenders you never counted, or stay under it. Let the legs shake. Let the vision narrow. Let the next rep become the only thing that exists. This is failure. True failure, not the failure of missing a rep. The failure of a muscle fiber that has nothing left to give, forced to that exact point on purpose, because that point is the only place growth is manufactured. There is no version of this that feels good in the moment. Anyone who told you otherwise was selling something. It is cold. It is isolating. Nobody under a bar at rep 10 is thinking about anyone else in the room. There is no audience down there. There's only the weight, the voice asking you to stop, and the choice of whether today is a day you listen to it. The bar doesn't care about your excuse. The fiber doesn't repair itself stronger because you had a reasonable one. It only responds to what actually happened under load. So the question was never whether it would hurt. It was always going to hurt. The only question that ever mattered, the only one that decides who you become, is what you do in the 4 seconds after the voice starts begging. The bar is racked. The sound is small, steel meeting steel, but it lands like something ending. You don't stand up right away. You can't. Legs still burning, chest still pulling for air. It can't fully catch. This is not relief. Not yet. This is the body sending a bill it hasn't finished writing. Walk out of that gym and the world doesn't care what just happened under the bar. Nobody in the parking lot knows what rep 9 cost you. Nobody needs to. That's the part most men can't tolerate. The isolation doesn't end when the set does. It just changes shape. Now the real work starts. The work you'll never see. That has nothing to do with effort and everything to do with patience. The fiber you torch doesn't heal because you willed it to. It heals on a schedule that ignores you completely. Protein delivered. Sleep taken seriously, not as a luxury, but as the only window the repair actually happens in. 48 hours, sometimes more, of legs that remind you with every stare that a debt was incurred and is now being repaid, slowly, cell by cell, without your permission required at any step. This is where impatience kills progress faster than any missed rep ever could. Men who chase the feeling of soreness, who train through it out of some need to prove something twice, aren't building. They're withdrawing from an account that hasn't finished depositing. Growth isn't in the effort. Growth is in what the effort earns you days later while you're asleep and not thinking about it at all. But something else happens in those 48 hours, something that has nothing to do with muscle. You start to trust the 4 seconds, the ones after the voice began begging and you stayed anyway. That memory doesn't stay in the gym. It follows you into the conversation you didn't want to have, into the morning you didn't want to wake up early for, into every place in life where something reasonable sounding whispers, "This is enough. Stop here." You've heard that whisper before, under the bar, and you know now, factually, not hopefully, that it lies. That's the actual transaction, not bigger legs, not a heavier number on the bar next month. A body that has been proven under real load to keep moving after it wanted to quit, and a mind that no longer has to wonder if it can. There is no ceremony for this. No one hands you anything. You don't feel different the day after. You feel wrecked and sore, and mostly you feel nothing except the specific, unglamorous ache of tissue being rebuilt slightly stronger than it was. That's the whole secret, and it was never hidden. Pain is the invoice. Recovery is the payment. Neither one skips a line for you. Do this enough times quietly, without applause, and it stops being something you do. It becomes the floor you stand on everywhere else.
The room will empty, the noise will fade. But the standard you set in those 4 seconds remains. It follows you out the door. This path is not for everyone. It was never meant to be. It is only for those who understand the true, unforgiving cost of growth. If you recognize this truth, if you choose the invoice of pain over the cost of regret, align with us. Subscribe to the Edge Files. Share this with someone who needs to remember what true failure feels like. The iron doesn't negotiate, and neither should you. The work continues.